Ladies and gentlemen, I'm glad to introduce two visitors from Norway here today for the new NSL Live Talk. One of them we know really well because he has been doing this for a very long time, and the NSL News has covered it recently too. One of them we don't know at all. So Carl-Erik, he is competing here with Agera, the Norwegian national team in 4-way open, and he has been competing with the DLN Norges long ago, so we talk about this later. But can you first introduce our other Norwegian friend here, so we know who is actually here with you today?
This is Victor Engholmen. He's manager for the World Cup and European Championship at WOS 2023. And we're very happy to work with Victor. He has done a great job so far, and we look forward to work with him. And we had a great time out here in Arizona at the World Meet, and met a lot of nice people, Victor and I.
And we get some of the details of that in this conversation. We'll talk about a little bit. But let me ask Victor first. What is your skydiving background?
That's easy. None.
Okay. Have you? Are you interested in it? Or
I think it's amusing, but my point of view is into sports and events. I'm not a skydiver. I'm a skier actually. I'm a cross-country skier and instructor. So I do sports events and music events.
Well, it's great to have people actually in the sport, who can help us with knowledge and information coming from outside of the sport, because we are all growing up in it, and we don't know anything, about event management. Well, a little bit, but not much. So bringing the pros in there, is a very helpful thing. So I don't know where to begin. Let's talk about. No, let's go to the World Cup a little bit later. I first want to talk with Carl-Erik a little bit about what got you here, where you're coming from. That's first we're going to tell. This is Carl-Erik Toff, the DLN Norges tale of 1999, 2001, 2003, where his team won bronze medals at a world championship like this year. Bronze medals for Norway at the 3 consecutive world championships. Do you remember that?
Still, yeah, I do.
And Carl-Erik is still jumping. You are still jumping.
Yes.
And then how do you end up here competing for Agera?
We had a situation where sadly one of the team members of Agera was not able to go to the United States, and as it has been said on NSL TV, it was a passport issue, sorry. And then I was supposed to be here as the head of delegation for Norway and as a coach for the new girl team from Norway, Tyra. So I was supposed to be here for 2 weeks. Then Tyra disappointingly was not allowed to go to the US due to we have a team who's 17 and very talented. She has only 40 jumps, but she's skydiving her skydiving skills are amazing.
And that's the same team where your daughter Christiane is.
That's correct. Yeah, and we have 2 other girls on the team, Julia and Camilla. They are all talented skydivers. So they went to ESL in European Skydiving League in Belgium, and I changed my tickets back to 1 week for the World Championship. And then around October 1st, late September, a message arrived in my cell phone: "Can you go to the World Meet as a tail?" And I read, wow. So I said, I need some wind tunnel and I need some jumps. And Agera was nice to me, so we had 3 sessions in the wind tunnel in Norway, and then we met up here in Arizona October 13th, and we have done approximately 30 jumps up front of the meet.
But you couldn't make it to the training camp in the land, right? So I had to sacrifice my own old, poor body.
Yes. I was a little bit too busy at work back home. Sorry about that. I would have loved to be to the land.
Oh, what a story! So now you're here and you're doing extremely well. I mean, you know that slot in and out.
I know the slot, but it's it's a challenge to come into a new team, try to fit into the team, do it their way, and don't rush the team or just fit and so they don't kind of feel any difference from the previous tail.
I know only one tail actually who may have been longer in that slot, or nose longer as a world champion. Who would that, you know who I talk about?
I would guess it would be Mark Kirk.
Yeah, of course, you know that. Yeah. So you're probably the second experienced, and skilled tail in the history of. So I guess you can handle it.
A couple of Belgians out there, I think, and French.
Funny story also that the Dylan Norgis at their reunion this year, you beat Agera actually, right?
Yeah, we had had a good meet. We were good round and we were lucky. To be honest, we were lucky. Agera was unlucky, we were lucky. So
who was in the Dylan Norgis lineup again? I forgot it. Who was in your?
Yeah, at the nationals it was Paul Kolbenstvedt, Torstein Valen, Ole Petter Gjelle, and me.
So only Lisa was missing actually.
No, she's big into riding horses with her daughter now.
Okay.
So,
well, she'll come back someday.
Sure. I bet she will.
Victor.
Yeah.
So this was correct, Victor, right?
Yeah.
So the four-way women team that Carl-Erik was talking about brings us to the World Cup now, because they will be able to compete in Norway. She was too young to compete in the United States, but she will not be too young to compete in Norway.
Yeah.
So we will see them next year at the World Cup.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
So Victor, what are your plans for the World Cup?
I've got lots of plans. We're still 9 months ahead of us, so there's lots of time left. But we have plans to, we're hoping to get maybe 300-400 competitors from most of the world. And hopefully we've been, both Carl-Erik and I and some of the other team members have been talking to a lot of people here. So we are expecting a lot of people to join us at Voss next year. And my work is the non-sport side of things. In other words, I do all the other stuff. Anything from transport to accommodation to events regarding the opening and the closing ceremonies, stuff like that. So I've lots of surprises too, but I have nothing I could reveal at the moment.
Oh, secret.
I can't.
Okay. Well, you were here for this opening ceremony, I'm sure.
Yeah. So I was going to be quite different. We are most likely going to have a big, let's call it an orchestra, with 120 people that will make a parade.
Okay. I heard I wasn't
secretive.
I wasn't there, but you had already an opening ceremony at the indoor European World Cup, or what was
Championship, yes.
Championship, and I heard a lot about the opening ceremony. People were quite excited about it. Did you organize that too?
No, I wasn't involved.
That was in Voss too, right?
Yeah, that was in Voss too.
Yeah. So were you there?
No, sorry, I wasn't there.
Okay. But we also, the Norwegian Air Sport Federation, they are involved in balloons and model airplanes, electric airplanes. We got an electric plane we're going to bring along, and we're actually going to fly with it. And there are people trying to see if we can actually be able to jump from it as well. So we're going to bring it down into the center of Voss, and people can touch it and feel it and sit into it, and then bring it up to the airfield later, and then we're going to fly with it.
Center of Voss, like downtown?
Downtown Voss,
okay.
Yeah.
Is that where the opening ceremony is going to be like?
It's going to be outdoor in the middle of town.
Okay.
And we're going to close most of the streets in the middle of town.
120 person orchestra.
I'm a bit secretive. I'm not revealing who that is. It's a big orchestra.
Okay. Is it like with? Oh, I'm not gonna ask you. It's a secret, so I could ask. Oh, well, it sounds interesting. It sounds exciting, and the competition is World Cup, so people will come from all over the planet. It's not only European as for the indoor event. It's open for the rest of the world.
Absolutely, and we hope that as many as possible can come.
And Norway is a beautiful country. There's a drop zone in Foss.
Yes. They do approximately 30,000 jumps a year from May 1st to approximately beginning of September. And quite busy, and of course the weather is the western coast weather, and like in Norway, but
not like Arizona.
Not like Arizona. However,
not cold and rainy.
No, however, that valley is kind of a little bit protected by mountains, so it's a little bit better weather compared to out on the coast.
This is 100 kilometers from Bergen, east of Bergen.
Yeah.
Bergen is on the west,
beautiful.
West coast.
I've been there for vacation. It's a beautiful area.
It's more or less like a tiny valley in the Alps.
And it's flat.
Yeah, in the bottom. In the bottom, yes.
And the bottom is big.
No, it's more or less like a gap.
Congratulations to
Well,
Rayanne
it's
for
beautiful
being
no matter what. Norway is one of the
today.
most beautiful
Woohoo!
countries
2.7
on the planet.
Rayanne on your 100th
So we
skydive.
can only encourage everybody to take a look.
Yeah.
Book your trip to Norway. It's going to be cheap for Americans next year. The dollar is strong, the euro is weak, so nobody should hold back.
And it's Norwegian kroner in Norway, and it's weak against both euro and dollar.
Yeah, against euro too.
Yeah. So the accommodation in Norway, in fact, at the moment for an Airbnb is the same price as in Arizona.
Huh.
So we just noticed this is the same price as Norway. Even the food is close to Norwegian prices at the moment in Arizona.
Well, keep going with your promotional.
So the only difference is probably the beer.
The beer.
The beer and the wine. Norwegian prices.
Yeah, America has good beer. Oh, and the prices.
Yeah.
Okay. So you have to smuggle in your own.
I wouldn't do that.
No,
I wouldn't recommend that.
So, but there's a brewery in Voss where we also have a plan to go and visit when we got time, and we got also other activities to do whenever there's time off. And
So
that's anything from hiking to the mountains to going rafting to glacier walking. Just have a look around. There's lots of things to do.
And we will also, of course, look into mountain flying if anyone is interested. Because
I'm the first one on the waiting list.
Yeah, mountain flying we know is. I think that a lot of skydivers from abroad would like to do.
Well, it sounds very exciting. So, last question. There will be information. We will be able to find information probably on the ISC website, and there will be a special.
Absolutely. We have a website already, which is just recently opened. So there is some info there as well. So it's skydivevos.no, and you'll find the World Cup banner, and just click on that, and you'll have some info.
Yeah, I will bring it up on. It's on here probably, and then I can set a link there. So last question. Let me think. Who is going to compete for Norway the next year? The Norgis beat Agera. This year was qualification for next year.
We don't have any qualification in Norway.
There's a boss, that's Carl-Erik. He says, you go.
No, it's not me. We have Marius Sotberg. He's the manager of the national teams, and he picks the national teams together with coaches. So we kind of have a same system as France. So we don't care about the results in the nationals. We pick the young ones, and they go to the World Meet and World Cups, and because they are the future.
Yeah,
And-
that's a project that
Yeah,
you started a few
yeah.
years ago, right?
So Ageda is gonna represent Norway, and the girl team in female class, and you have Aviatrix in free fly, and you have VFS with a Blue Pelican from Norway, and probably gonna have an 8-way from Norway as well. There's some old parts.
I remember a Norwegian 8-way team in this about a little earlier than your forward team,
Yeah,
right?
that's right.
And they were in the top 5 in the world.
Four.
Top 4.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, I think I'm expecting now a Norwegian 8-way team at the
There are plans for
World
it.
Cup. It's okay. Okay.
So I can't compete since I'm going to be the meet director, but I know like Paul Kolbenstvedt and Torsten Valen are talking about bringing together an 8-way team.
Yeah, Paul is much into 8-way now, right?
He is.
Yeah.
So,
Well, and then if you still have Carl-Erik as a backup in case somebody is.
I think that would be against the rules.
So the last World Championship that you competed at was in 2003.
Yes.
So this is like 20 years later,
Yeah.
roughly, almost 20 years later. Well, gentlemen, thank you very much for the information. Good luck with your last 2 rounds.
Yeah. Thank you.
Akira is doing really well, so that's
Thank you very
congratulations for that.
Well, thank you very much for inviting us.
And we'll see you next year in Fars, Norway.
Thank you.
Thank you.